Sorry, my phone overheated. It was too close to the heat. So you see, this is me also putting my iPhone at risk. And then some people are getting angry that I didn't give out my trade secrets. Oh my God. Yeah, so yes, I'm really sorry that it dialed out. The iPhone overheated because it was too close. Because the iPhone is leaning on a baking and an oven tray. So of course the oven tray got too hot, the iPhone got too hot, and then the phone switched off. So you see, so yeah. I know, right? I know, right? Like, I'm putting my iPhone at risk. I run a business. I should just come onto Instagram and then give you all my trade secrets. And then they had the nerve to get angry. Like, seriously. I'm not Jesus, so. I'm not Jesus, so. So, yes, let's go back to the smaller burner. I can't do the bigger burner anymore. If my phone goes off now, there's no Apple store that's going to fix it. And I run a business, so I have to be in touch with my staff in Lagos. I have to be in touch with my clients in America. So I apologize that we are going back to the slower burner. It is... I know, right? The nerve of some people. Oh my gosh. One said, oh, I'm using it to advertise my cooking class. Okay. And she said she's Mrs. Shaba. Please let me ask Mrs. Shaba whether her husband works for free and she herself works for free. Anyway, so yes, we are still frying. Like I said, you have to really fry it. Really fry it. Now, can you stop now? Yes, you can. Again, it depends on what you're trying to achieve. That's why I said that the best doctors are the ones that have killed people. As crazy as that sounds, that's the best. Ask anybody in the medical field, or even engineers as well. You have to get it wrong before you know how to get it right. So if you've been stopping here and saying, I beg, I can't go and waste my gas door, or I'm tired of standing and staring it. Yes, you can stop here, but you would not achieve Dooney's kind of result. So you have to, yes, I've added my spices. I added it at the beginning. After I seasoned the oil. Oh my goodness me, you need to see my hand right now. I have all kinds of burns. The oil can splatter onto your face and everything. It's one of the things that we cooking hazards. So when somebody who runs a food business charges you an amount, believe me, they're not charging you. Don't just think, can't I go to the market and go and buy tomatoes myself? Auntie, you can go. Uncle, you can go. It's expertise, it's risk, it's a whole lot, it's time as well. Thank you. Yeah, so I haven't added any rice yet. As you can see, it's just the oil. I wish I could go any closer, but I'm not about to risk my I'm not about to risk my iPhone. So you see, he splattered in my face. Yeah, it's cooking hazards. It's cooking hazards. It's cooking as hazard, yes. So you have to keep going. You have to keep frying it as well. I'm not done yet. I'm not done. But when we do the cooking class, right? For those who want to pay, and I don't know when it is yet. At every stage, you would taste. What's the phrase now? Taste and texture. You need to know, because it's difficult to explain completely what texture is when it's ready. We'll do taste, we'll do texture. It's how I trained my staff as well. Once you get to that texture point, you know that yes, if you go any further, it's just asheju. Asheju in English means ovasabi. It's just ovasabi. You are there. Then you can now go and boil. You can now go and boil the rice. So we are going to do the 2-pot method, because the 1-pot method is not something I can explain over Instagram Live. We need to do lots of measurements, and again, my phone is stuck to a place. So to do the 1-pot method, I'll need to move my phone around. Somebody has to hold the phone for me while I'm trying to explain. So that cannot work. But the 2-pot method, I can do that independent of anybody being in the house, holding it for me. Yes, I have added. Covering the pot, not covering the pot, it doesn't really make any difference. There are some dishes. I'm not talking about bono or okra. There are some dishes that yes, you have to cover the pot. It makes a difference in flavor. This one is not one of them. If you cover the pot or you don't cover the pot, it doesn't make a difference. So the 2-pot method is when you boil the rice separately. That's the 2-pot method. The one pot method, once it has fried, you add water, you wash your rice and pour it in. The 2-pot method is you use two. I call it 2-pot method because you use 2 pots. You use 2 pots to cook it. Yes, the two-pot method is when you fry the stew and then you boil the rice in another pot. I just coined the word two-pot method. It's not as if it's a scientific thing. The one-pot method is when you're done frying the stew, you pour water, you pour the rice, everything cooks in the same pot. That's the one-pot method. I'm doing the one-pot method works a lot for commercial quantities. It's more a commercial quantity kind of thing, which is what I'll talk about in the business cooking class. And with that one, I will need my hands moving around, and there's nobody at home to hold the phone for me. So it's practically impossible to do the one-pot method via Instagram Live without anybody being in the house. So two-pot method is what we are going to do. Also, as well, the proportion that the reason why your jollof rice sometimes is not turning out the way you like. Ouch, it's still splashing on me. The way you like is because you are getting the ratio of the rice to the pepper wrong. Unfortunately, that takes time. It takes technique as well. I know the cable is too close. I know. Thank you. Let me get the cable out. It's too close to the heat. Yeah, so if you're getting it wrong, you're getting the jollof rice wrong, is because you have to take time to figure out the proportion of pepper to rice. It's not something that anybody can really tell you over Instagram Live. I have to teach you how to do it. But the only thing I can say is, since we are all at home now, hopefully if you're not a health worker or a key worker and you're trying to nail your jollof rice, you now need to find out. It took me years. That's why I cannot just give it out for free. It took me years as well to get, as much as my jollof rice will taste amazing, it will not look that good. The texture will be wrong, or the grains will be soggy. Even after the grains are soggy, there are ways to fix it as well. This is something that took me years to figure out. So if you're at home and you really feel like, this Easter, okay, please don't invite your in-laws, I beg, or even invite your friends. Let's all stay at home and self-isolate for Easter. But if you feel like, okay, jollof rice is one albatross, you want to overcome this year, you need to ask yourself, find out which proportion works. My own proportion is written down in a place somewhere, so I can never forget it. So that's another free tip I can give you, is if you're not getting the right result, even though it tastes nice, it's just because you have missed your rice to pepper ratio. You have to find the one that works for you. Also, as well, different it's splashing. Different rice also has different proportions. That's why it's something like I said to you, I cannot say over Instagram Live. The basmati has a different proportion. Long grain has a different proportion. Even long grain itself, there are different brands of long grain that take to water differently. So has this been seasoned? Yes, I know. Yes, it has been seasoned. I'm trying. If I cover it, you guys will not see it properly. So I'm taking the heat. I'm getting oil splashes. So different brands of rice have different proportions in terms of water, pepper, and rice. So it's not something I can say on Instagram Live, because you have to see it. That's why the business cooking class is going to be 8 hours long, because there's a lot to teach. There are a lot of details that caterers, even if you ask a caterer, besides to tell you how to cook jollof rice, they will leave it out deliberately because, hey, it's their straight secret. I did not cover the pot because of you guys. Left to me, I'd have covered it. Again, it makes no difference in flavor. There are some dishes, apart from okra and ogbono, that you should cover. Some dishes you should not cover. This one doesn't make any difference. We are not at the point now where covering it is going to make a huge difference. Yes. So that's the only reason why. Otherwise, I would have covered it, and it has caused splashes everywhere, which I have to clean afterwards. But it's fine. So let me stir it so that you guys can see. I'll turn down the heat so that the bubbles. I'll even turn it off, so that the bubbles don't hurt. Yes, so it's still frying. If I was in a physical cooking class, I would have showed you what the bottom of the pot looks like, but I can't take that risk because I'm at home alone. Heaven forbid oil pours on my body now. The people on Instagram will be like, who sent you? So in a business cooking class, I would have been able to show you what the bottom of the pot looks like, because I will have help so that you can see. You'll be able to feel as well, because with getting your pepper right, it's not just a combination of, it looks nice to me now. Why are we still frying this thing? You have to see what the bottom of the pot looks like. I can't bend it because I'm not about to risk my skin. Nobody wants to go into a hospital right now. So I would just have to describe as much as I can as much as I can describe. No, I did not use meat stock. The only reason why I don't use meat stock is because I cook commercially, right? If you are cooking for yourself at home, you can use meat stock. But a commercial cook has, for those who are just joining, a commercial cook has a recipe that they stick to. The one thing that can throw that recipe off balance is meat stock. Because meat stock is never going to taste the same. You can boil a pot of meat now and taste it. Boil another pot of meat the next in another pot and taste it. They will never taste the same. And jollof rice is one dish that you need to be consistent in your recipe. Meat stock will throw it off balance. So I don't use meat stock. I don't use it at all. But if you are cooking at home for a small quantity, if your recipe throws off balance, you can quickly fix it. But if you are cooking a bag of rice for a wedding, if your recipe throws off balance, you are dead. So that's the only reason why I don't use meat stock. If you have meat stock at home, you're more than happy to do it. So when you don't use meat stock, there are other techniques that you can use to amp up the flavor, which I can't talk about because again, I'm not going to talk about that for free. But if you want to use meat stock, don't say, but Dooney doesn't use meat stock. I only don't use meat stock because I cook in commercial quantities and I don't want meat stock to drive me mad. I don't want meat stock to drive me mad. So if you want to add sweet corn and carrots to your jollof rice, you can add it though, but me, I don't know. I don't know why you want to do that, but if that's what your client wants, or if that's your signature recipe, you might as well go ahead and do that. So now the bubbles have stopped. My skin has recovered from all the splashes, and then I can show you here. For those who are complaining about the oil, if you don't use the oil, it's going to burn. It's going to burn. So it is going to burn. There are no two ways about it. It's going to burn. So yes, I am still frying. I've turned on the cooker because man, that splashing is painful. Oil splashes hurt. I have all kinds of scars on my skin from cooking. So yes, so I'm still frying it as well. So when you include, I'm trying to answer some questions. Hold on. Some people, yes. No, I don't. Is it important to add a lot of oil? It will not fry properly. That's all. It won't fry properly. And like I was saying to you, if I had help at home, I may even have given you guys this one for free. I would have showed you something at the bottom that's a very key thing. But I'm not about to risk my skin. If anything falls on me, I'm at home alone. I'm not an American citizen, so I don't have a health insurance. So I'm not about to do that. I'm very sorry. I'm not about to do that. But there's a reason why there's this much oil, and that reason is at the bottom of the pot, which I cannot show you because I'll have to bend the pot to show you. So I can't because it's too risky. That's why. Yes, you need lots of oil to prevent burning. I'm still going to fry it. I only turned off the cooker because I want you guys to see the texture and also answer some questions. Yes, as well. What should the bottom look like? I can't describe it because you have to see it, unfortunately, and I'm not about to bend the pot, so I can't. It's difficult to describe. Yes, you can always decant the oil. It's how I do it. Everybody has different ways of cooking jollof rice. It's how I do it. Yes, you can use long. I'm trying to answer some questions while the stew fries. You can use long grain rice. Of course, you can in the two pot method. Yes, again, for those experienced cooks are coming out now and saying it. We can see who are the non-experienced cooks. You need the oil, otherwise it will burn. It will burn before you are done getting what you need to. We're getting to the point you need to get to. So if you don't have enough oil, it's going to burn. Yes, I will reduce the oil. Do you use crayfish? No, that's native jollof rice. Use a splatter guard. Unfortunately, those splatter guards, they only work for one size of pot. If your pot is bigger or it's too small, it's not going to help. That's why I stopped buying them. Yeah, so a 2-pot method is 1 pot for the rice and 1 pot for the sauce. Yes, you can use basmati rice as well. Any questions? If I can answer it before my sister calls my mother that I've given her family secret, I will answer it. What's in the mix? Curry, thyme, white pepper, pepper mixture, oil, seasoning. No, I'm not cooking. What do you call it? I'm not cooking the rice yet because I'm not done. I know when I'm done by checking the bottom of the pot, and I'll have to do that on the other side because, again, like I said, I'm not about to pour hot oil on my skin over a free class. Even God will ask me who sent me message. Yes, so I'm going to move the pot to the other side so that I can bend it. Again, I can't show you because somebody is here to help. So I'm bending the pot because there's something I'm looking for. Until that's how they are going. Women taught me. They used to bend pots, and my mother to go but I can see why. So I'm bending the pot because I'm looking for something at the bottom. If it's not there, it's not there. I continue. So I've pushed it back. I continue. Even when you are doing like a cooking for a large crowd, there's a way those long omoroguns, there's a way they move the pepper so they can see the bottom. I can't do that here. So it's not safe. So anyways, so we are still going. I haven't cooked the rice yet because there's no need to. There's no need to cook the rice yet because otherwise it will just continue cooking and there's no point. Did I use tin tomatoes? Of course you do. You use tin tomatoes, otherwise you will not get the color and the flavor that you are looking for. Jollof rice, tomato paste gives you color and flavor. It's not just for color alone. That's why you have to be very careful of the brand that you buy. Some brands are too tart, some brands are too sweet. You have to find the brand that you like, and if a brand is too tart or a brand is too sweet, there are ways about in which you can fix it, which of course I cannot say, but you need to find the one that works for you. I found one in America that was too tart. I fixed it because I wish I brought my tomato paste from the UK, but anyways, I know better now. I had to fix it because that's not a brand I'm used to. Yeah, we can see the experienced cooks now. Temi says she does that bottom check too. Yes. Yes, I told you my jollof rice takes 3 hours. We started at 11 o'clock, right? We are 12:03 now, and I'm not anywhere near done. It takes a long time to get to that nice jollof rice that you see. One pot, which is better. One pot method is what you use for commercial quantities. If you do one pot method at home, you must be your experience level for jollof rice must like be a 9/10. Otherwise, you are going to eat mashed potatoes, or it will be too hard. No, I don't recommend the one pot method for home. It's only commercial cooks that can really do one pot method properly. Yes, both tomato paste and tomato paste is same as tin tomatoes. I know you people are saying Hunt is amazing. I didn't like it. I have to fix it. The Hunt is not as good as the one I get in the UK. I have to fix it. I can see you guys. I can show you here. And the only reason why I'm showing you is because I had to fix it. See, this is Hunt. It's Hunt. This is Hunt. I didn't like it. The minute I tasted it, I was like, oh my god. But again, I've had to work with different brands of tomato paste, so I know what to do to fix it. Yes, the amount of people you are cooking for, not necessarily. My jollof rice ask my friends who have come to my house before when I'm cooking. Whether I'm cooking for 5 people, I'm cooking for 50 people, my jollof rice takes a long time to cook because again I build flavors. Building flavors. How do you explain building flavors in layman's terms? I don't know how to explain it. I build flavors, and to build flavors you have to take time. So whether I'm cooking for 5 people, I'm cooking for 50 people, my jollof rice takes time. Can you use tomato sauce? No, it has to be tomato paste. Adeyomide, you must be an expert, and I give you hand for that. One pot method is only experts can do it for home cooking. I recommend 2-pot method because 2-pot method gives you more control. And with jollof rice, you need control. With the 1-pot method, by the time you pour the water in, the water may be too much or may be too little. And jollof rice is one dish that you don't want to be adjusting water midway. You don't want to because it will just drive you mad. In personal experience. So I use the 2-pot method when I'm cooking at home, even when I'm cooking in bulk. In Nigeria, we use the 1-pot method because we cook a lot. But two-pot method gives me more control. I know when to, I know, even when I boil the rice, I will try and explain al dente as much as I can. Al dente, you have to feel it. You cannot, I know you must have heard, if you watch them, Jamie Oliver, or all the Italian chefs, they say something like al dente for pasta. Al dente is something that you cannot describe properly. You have to feel it for you to know what al dente means. But I will try as much as possible as I can to describe it. Okay, so I'm going to move it away again. Let me go and check the bottom of the pot. Hold on. Woo! Sorry. Yep, that's it. I have gotten what I'm looking for at the bottom of the pot. Again, I'm bending the pot to do it, and I'm moving it around. I can't do that on live. So when I get what I'm looking for at the bottom of the pot, because people just say, oh, smoky jollof rice is done. I used to say that before when in my days of a food blogger. Cooking commercially has kind of schooled me that that's not entirely true. People used to say, oh, that with smoky jollof rice, you just have to let it burn when you're done cooking. I'm here to tell you that is just like, how do I explain it? That tip that you have gotten from blogs, right? That is like, it's like baby pink. When you're trying to get fuchsia pink. I wish that was the only thing that causes smoky jollof rice. When I used to cook at home, I used to be a food blogger. That was what I used to tell people. Over time, I have found out that is true, but you can't get that. I've had my clients in America tell me, oh my God, Dooney, it's as if I went to Lagos when I ate a smoky jollof rice. If it was only burning the rice after I was done, that was the result. No, it's not. It's not at all. So now I'm going to wash. You hear the sink. Let me just leave this on low heat. You hear water running down the sink because I'm trying to sort out rice. So for those of you who have been asking what a two-pot method is, you are about to see what a two-pot method is. So give me a few moments. Let me get the rice and then I will continue. Trying to get the rice. So for those of you who want to join because somebody asked me about smoky jollof rice. Yes, it's not only burning the rice after it's done. I wish if it was that simple, like, oh my God, do you know how much time I would have saved myself? But it's not that simple. These are things that we will discuss. If I see my phone, the screen of my phone has oil splashes. Hold on, let me just wipe it off. Let me wipe it off. So I'm trying to sort out the rice, and I'll be right back. I'm still here. Again, you haven't seen me taste my pepper. That's just because I cook to measurements. So I already know that it's fine. So if somebody asked about tasting it, I already know that it's fine because I cook to measurements. I've been doing this for a very long time. So if you're asking me about seasoning, I also don't use salt for jollof rice. The story is too long to tell. Why I don't use salt for jollof rice is a really long story, honestly. But it's one of those. I picked it up from a fellow caterer friend of mine, Nike. And the only reason why she told me was because we've done each other favors in the past. That's why I said, to sit down and expect a business person to give you tips for free is almost not fair. What are you giving me in return? This life is about give and take. So this, as much as I can teach how I cook jollof rice, it's not fair to expect me to give out my trade secrets. I don't cook with salt. Nike was the one who clued me in on what to do about it. And unfortunately, I can't say that. But in the business cooking class, I would tell you, there will be one person who will do it wrong. There'll be one of my staff will come in and do it wrong. One of my staff, I will do it right, and then you see the difference in salt, no salt, this, no that, so that should it happen to you during business catering, you will know what to do. So I have my Uncle Ben's rice here. I'm long grain rice. Long grain, if you live abroad, you probably know what long grain rice is. But again, there are also different types of long grain rice. Let me show you the type I use and the type that you should be using. I'll put it under the camera. I don't know how to describe it, but because even this Uncle Ben's that my friend had, I had bought another brand in New York. Let me try and describe. Can you guys see? There are different types. Don't just, again, if you're a home cook, right, long grain rice is long grain rice. But when you're a business cook, you realize that there are different types of long grain rice. And there's a certain type of long grain rice that works for jollof. If you go and buy the other long grain rice, jollof is a disaster. You remember that Dooney said something, that there are different types of long grain rice. So you have to look. Can you see? Can everybody see the grains? Can everybody see the grains? This is the type of long grain rice that is the best for jollof. There are other long grain rice that is good for fried rice. There are long grain rice that is good for white rice, but this is the type of long grain rice I use for what's it called, for jollof rice. Even in Nigeria, it took us a very long time after so many mistakes to find this type of long grain rice. It got to a point I was so frustrated that I was thinking of shipping the rice I use from the UK to Lagos. I was also holding my breath when I got to the US that I will find this type, because if I hadn't found this type, I would have cancelled all jollof orders, because I can't shout. Like, there's a certain quality that people expect with my food, and if an ingredient is going to let me down, I will not use that ingredient at all. So if you can see my screen, I don't know how to, like, when you come for the business cooking class, right, I will have at least 3 or 4 different types of long grain rice that we will buy, and you can compare. Can I don't have the other types of long grain rice at home, so it's difficult to compare. But if you can study this as much as you can, this is the kind of long grain rice that is good for jollof rice. If you buy the other types, you may not get a fantastic result, but again, this is experience. This is experience talking. Okay, so let me sort out the rice while I answer more questions. I'm still here. I'm just trying to sort out the rice. So I have to measure it. So again, I've been doing this for quite a while. So even if I get the measurements wrong, I know how to fix it. So this is what is called the 2-pot method. Let me try and move my phone a little bit, because the temperature warning has come back on again. So I have to move it backwards, otherwise this live session will go off. So the stew is done. This is why the only reason why I call it the 2-pot method. That's the only reason why, because you're using 2 pots, literally 2 pots. So this is another pot. So this is the rice that has gone in, and we are going to cook it till al dente. I can only use the word al dente because it's an Italian phrase that means it is cooked, but it is still hard. Again, there are also different grades of al dente. Like al dente is spelled AL space DENTE. Al dente is used more for pasta than rice. But it's the only phrase I could find when I was blogging about how to describe the rice. So you have to cook the rice till al dente. Al dente, again, has different grades depending on what kind of rice that you're using. Like basmati al dente is different from, where you need to get for basmati al dente is different from al dente with long grain. These are things that we will discuss in the business cooking class, because some customers ask. I've had customers tell me for a party, for example, I had cooked for a Christmas party last year, and they said, "Dooney, use basmati." Do you get? So there's basmati al dente, there's long grain al dente. If you use basmati al dente for long grain, man, you come out with porridge. Sorry, pottage. Do you get? So if you use long grain al dente for basmati al dente, the rice will be too hard. So the rice, the al dente level that you need to get to is based on the kind of rice that you're working with. So yes, some people use the 1-pot method. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I don't recommend it for people who are not very experienced with jollof rice, because 2-pot method, I've had an Australian, a white woman, somebody from Germany send me emails. Now, as a blogger, that they've never cooked jollof rice in their life before, and they use the two-pot method and they nailed it. So the two-pot method is something that I know that if you are paying attention, you are going to get it 10 out of 10 times. You can be gisting with your husband, be gisting with your friends, nothing will happen. But you see that one-pot method, it can embarrass you. Like the day your village people decide to sit down with you in the kitchen that day, and your in-laws are coming or your friends are coming, you have a party. Oh, man, disgrace. So the two-pot method is what I use because it gives you 100% control. I have not seen anybody who has followed my recipe properly with the two-pot method and has gotten it wrong. I myself too, no matter how, because when you are busy cooking for others, you have like 5 or 6 different things you are doing at the same time. When I use the two-pot method, I just walk away because I know that even when it is going wrong, it's easy to fix. One-pot method is very difficult to fix. Again, jollof rice is not, and anybody who is still insisting on doing the one-pot method, if you can do it properly, power to you. Power to you. It's not something I recommend because I know the kind of stress one-pot method can give you. Again, with the jollof rice is one dish that water is your enemy. Like your jollof rice can taste amazing and everything, and then the rice grains are too hard, and then you add water, game over. You will re-season and season and season and season, and that jollof rice will not taste as good as when you tasted it before you added water. That's why I prefer the two-pot method for smaller quantities, because it gives you more control. No, Tolly boy, no, you can't even pay me to use Tolly boy. Tolly boy that made me throw away a whole pot of rice 2 years ago. I don't do it. I don't do it. I have the brand I use. I was this close to shipping it to Nigeria out of frustration until we found rice that was good. Okay, so yeah, so this is the the two-pot method as well. Also, if you get your proportion of rice to stew wrong, you can correct it quickly in the two-pot method. The one-pot method, you can't. You get it wrong, that's it, game over. There's once that rice hits the water like this, oparini in English, that means it's over. There's nothing you can do to fix it. That's why I use the two-pot method. No matter how many, even what do you call it, in Lagos, sometimes we use the two-pot method depending on how much we are cooking, because it just gives you, when you are very busy, the two-pot method does gives you that control that you need. So you are sure that yes, so when you are done, your jollof rice is done, and village people did not did not sit down on your head that day. Did I add anything to the rice? No, I didn't. Did I use fresh tomatoes? No. Did I add butter to the fried sauce? No. I need 2 hands to bend the pots. And nobody's at home right now, so I can't bend the pots. Yeah, somebody said, yeah, two-pot method. The minute you have to re-add water to jollof rice, game over. Ask any cook, they will tell you that yes, the end result will still taste good, but what you tasted before you added that water, you will never get it back. No matter how good a cook you are, you will never get it back. That water will water down the seasoning, and jollof rice it needs to be steamed. And when it is steamed, it's absorbing flavor. The minute you put water and you now have to add the seasoning again, there's no time anymore for the rice to absorb the flavor. So the Maggi will now sit down on top. I don't know if anybody understands what I mean. It will sit down on top of the rice. It will not enter really inside the grain. And jollof rice is that dish where you want to eat it till you are scraping every grain off the plate. That's why I'm not dissing to one-pot method. Please don't get me wrong. For people who can use it very well, more power to you. It's just not something I recommend. No, but I don't get that butter thing. I'm very sorry. Like, for those of us who want berano in English means like they put you through the fire. Because my grandma was a Muslim and was an Ijebu woman. In fact, if not, they can have a party because the moon came out tomorrow. Ijebu people like party. So we had parties, I'm talking 10, 15 times a year. and I'm the oldest child and the oldest grandchild that was at home at the time. So you can imagine, I was everybody's housemaid. Yes, it's still on fire. It's still on fire. I don't want to use the bigger burner anymore, because the iPhone temperature, what do you call it? Temperature warning has come on again. So there's no Apple Store. Even if there's Apple Store, safe, where's the money to buy another phone? I will cry, oh. No, we are done cooking the sauce. That's why with the 2-pot method, if you are paying attention, right, you can do both of them side by side. But you need to know at what point to start the rice. And that's just because I'm not cooking anything else. That's why I waited until the sauce was done. Do you get it? Otherwise you can do them side by side. You will know in the business cooking class. I will tell you when you, because again, a business cook is cooking 5 different things at the same time. So she can't afford to stop and wait and stop and start. Like, she will spend the whole day cooking. Do you get? So in the business cooking class, once I will tell you the point where you can still continue cooking the sauce, right, and get your rice ready, or just do something else while you do that. But because it's just you guys, I still have a lot of things to cook today. But I've done all my sleeping for the past 2 days. I'm not ready to roll my sleeves up. You are going to boil the rice. Let me get a spoon so you can see. You are going to boil the rice until it's al dente. And al dente for what do you call it, for long grain is different from al dente for basmati, long grain basmati. So do you get? Because every rice, even at that, even I hadn't cooked with Uncle Ben's before, even though it looked exactly as the same as the long grain rice I use in the UK. I still had, the very first time I cooked jollof rice with it, I still had to get to the al dente point, because I didn't want to just assume that, oh, because it looks like the rice I use in the UK. Every rice takes to water differently. Also, as well, this is something I learned from a caterer friend. Every rice also takes to seasoning differently. Some rice, that's why you can now understand why I said I don't use meat stock. Because some rice brands, you season small seasoning like this, boom, it is fine. Some rice brands, you need to add 3 times more seasoning for it to be fine. So that's why I don't use meat stock, because the rice alone can throw me off balance. Then I'll now add meat stock again. That will now throw me off balance. And I'll be frustrated now. And I'm the kind of person, because of I have a name to protect, I have a quality to preserve for my clients. I've cooked a pot of rice that is 4 times this size before, and I didn't throw it away. I donated it to charity, but I had to start all over again because I wasn't paying attention. So that's just me. But if you're a home cook, she be whatever you cook, like your family will eat. Yes, they may say, mommy, this your jollof rice did not taste the same like 2 days ago. Oh no, but they will still eat it. But somebody who has paid you knows what they are expecting. So I'm just stirring it to show you guys that it is cooking, but there's really no need to stir it. It doesn't do anything. When it gets to al dente, you can only describe al dente until you are biting it in person. With the online business cooking class, we will really try. In fact, I've gotten a videographer who's going to come on that day. So there's a video, there's a mic. So the things I'm chewing and everything to get the sound, you will get that, because again, you are paying for it. But I can't get all those gear. I've found a videographer who's going to come during the online class and take videos, so everything is professional, so you can see it. You would also have the video recording that will be sent to you after the class as well, because again, you paid for the class. But this is a free Instagram cook with me class, so you guys can't expect everything in a free class. I'm just stirring it out of nothing to do. I will try. Let me try it now. No, it's not there yet. It's not there yet. It's not al dente yet. So I've tried it. Nope, it's not al dente yet. The online class is 25k. It's again not that much money. It's 25k. Sorry, I apologize if some people 25k is a lot of money, but it's not that much. For dishes you're going to learn. So it's not at al dente yet. I'm only stirring out of boredom. There's nothing. It's not a tip or anything. So for people who are asking, this is the reason why I call it a 2-pot method, because it is literally 2 pots. That's the pot of stew. Can you see it that way? And then this is the rice. So it's 2 pots. It's 2 pots. Okay. Let me scroll down while I'm waiting. In Naira. Yes, you can pay for the class via what's it called? There's a booking this thing on my page. Okay, let me in Naira, it's Naira. 25,000 in Naira. So we would for the business for the online class we'll do the 2 types of 1 type of rice. For the business class we'll do 2 types. We'll do so I will show you different types of long grain so that you know what to buy. It got to a point, especially in Nigeria, where there are lots of fake rice, that we had to take the rice that we normally use, right, put it in a plastic bag and carry it along with us to the market, because the Igbo boys will tell you, I'm not trying to be tribalistic, please don't get me wrong, most of the people who sell rice to us are the Igbo boys. Madam, it's the same thing, it's okay, it's this, is that. You get home, you cook it, disaster. Do you get? So you have to go with it and compare side by side. In the business cooking class as well, we are going to do basmati, because some clients will ask you for basmati, and basmati it's a different animal entirely. Do you understand? So you need to know how you can cook both, because if a client asks you for basmati, don't say, oh, we don't cook basmati, and then you now lose that job. It makes no sense. The client is king, so you have to give them what they want. So I will check it now to see if it's out. Al dente is AL space DENTE. So I'll use a fork now and check whether it's al dente to the point I'm happy with. Again, if you don't get your al dente properly, you will now get your water level wrong. Your rice will not be hard. You now add water, and then disaster will happen. So you need to get your al dente point properly, so that you don't go and under add water or over add water. So I'm just checking to see. No, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Now, if you guys were in here, right? Even though I'm not there yet, because I have lots of things to do. Again, I'm a business cook. I would have. There are ways around it when you're in a hurry. But I'm not in a hurry. I've decided to give you guys 2 hours of my time. Again, I told you guys that my jollof rice takes between 2 to 3 hours. We are now 1 hour 30 minutes in, and we are not done. So when I charge you and I say, oh, this is how much my jollof rice costs, I hope now for some you understand that, it's not only rice and tomato and pepper. What's the big deal? I said, well, if I want to make jollof rice cheap, there are ways. I will cut off like more than 60% of my steps, and jollof rice will be cheap. But that's not my jollof rice. I'm very particular about what I put my name on. Yes, I know that my staff in Lagos sometimes they can disgrace me. They know better. But hey, if you don't live in Nigeria, even when you live there, I mean, I've had people come to complain to me that, oh, this particular person, they bought food from her, it wasn't that good. I'm like, you know what? This girl can cook. This woman can cook. If you're having problems, her staff are the ones that just disgraced her. I really apologize on her behalf. Her food is not hype. Nobody's food is hype. It's just, well, our staff can disgrace us. Anybody who runs a business in Nigeria can tell you that staff is a huge problem. So if I was in a hurry or I was busy, I would have just let it go now and add the stew and everything. But I've given you guys 2 hours of my time today. Let me check again if I'm there yet. Yep. Almost. I'm almost there. That's why I said in the business class, if there's a business class, everybody bring their spoon, washed, of course. You taste it, so you will know 10 minutes before what it tastes like, 10 minutes after what it tastes like, so you can get that al dente thing properly. But I can't describe it on Instagram Live. It's not. It's impossible. If you're not tasting it, it's impossible. So I'm literally almost there. Almost. I can let it go. It won't kill me. Again, I know what to do. I'm not there yet, but I know what to do to fix it. So turn the cooker off. I'm still here. I just need to put this back. I'm still here. Let me answer your questions while I sort out the rice. No, I did not add anything to the rice, so you don't season the rice, please. If you season the rice, it's going to be too much, and then disaster will happen, and then you would add water to the stew so you can reduce the salt, and then you get frustrated. Jollof rice is that thing that once it goes wrong, it's like Murphy's Law. You will spiral down because you keep trying to fix it, and then while you're trying to fix it, the rice is cooking, and then the rice will not finish cooking. You now look and you want to cry. That what the hell? What did I do wrong? So you don't season please do not season the rice for any reason. You don't need to. That's why you cook it to al dente. It will still absorb the flavor from the stew. You don't do anything to the rice, please. Sorry, I'm still here. I want to check on the tracking of my client's food. It was delayed. So let me just find out if the post office has delivered it. So please give me a few minutes. I'm still here. I'm just checking up on the client. 2 seconds. I'm still here. While I'm checking up on the tracking, before you add the rice, again, I know it's like I'm sounding like a broken record. If you don't like the stew, season it before you add the rice. Jollof rice does not. What the hell? Why haven't they delivered this thing now? For real long. Sorry. Jollof rice does not like to be disturbed. It's not egusi or efo that you can stir and be readjusting. Okay, add more crayfish, add more prawns, add more this. Jollof rice, once you add the stew to it, leave it. So if you don't like, how do I explain it? If you are like, okay, the stew is nice. You know what will happen when jollof rice is done? Jollof rice will be under seasoned. When you taste the stew, you must go, wow, I love that. I can eat bread with that. I can eat rice with that. If you don't get to that point and you add the rice, I can guarantee you that the rice will be under seasoned. And like I said before, you don't season jollof rice at the end. You can, but it takes a lot of experience. A lot of experience to season jollof rice at the end. So even with my staff as well, I had to drum it into their heads that please, you push not cover me. Like, because I know my customers have expectations. You must taste the stew. Ouch, that's hot. So we are going back to the stew now. You must taste the stew and want to run to your house and run to your kitchen and go and get yam or bread. If you don't get to that point where you love the stew, it is easy to re-season the stew at this point. When you add the rice, I call it game over. There is game over unless you have major experience. Jollof rice is that dish that I don't care if you can cook banga for Buhari. I don't care if you can cook a medical corn for the governor of Cross River State. Jollof rice will humble you. It is one dish that can humble you. I know for some people who what Dooney has said that is if you're an experienced cook, it's fine. I'm an experienced cook and I'm still learning from my friends that are caterers till today. There's no knowledge that is lost. So if you are, it's true, jollof rice is one dish that, ask anybody, jollof rice is one dish that will humble you, no matter how good a cook you are. So you need to be sure that you like like now me, the season, everything is fine. I won't touch it. But sometimes you can forget and think, think about it. The jollof rice is going to dilute the flavor of the stew when you add the rice to it now. So imagine if the flavor was like a 7. By the time the jollof is done, the flavor will be like 4. So your flavor must be like 15. I'm talking flavor, not just Maggi or sorry, I use the word Maggi. Not just your seasoning cube. I'm talking your ratio to seasoning, salt, your curry, your thyme. Basically, all your ratios must work, because jollof rice, the rice is going to dilute this flavor because the rice has cooked in another pot. So if you look at it from that scientific point of view, this rice I'm going to add now is going to dilute the flavor of this stew. So if the flavor wasn't good enough already, by the time the rice goes inside, the flavor is going to reduce even further, and then your jollof will not be sweet. Oh, yum, I love that. Hold on. I want to wash my hands. I'm coming. I'm still here. I'm coming. I'm trying to decant the oil, so I'm looking for a good container so I can decant the oil. So all the oil police that you people have been on my case since, I'm decanting the oil, oh. If you don't use enough oil, it will burn. Here we go. Here we go. I've decanted the oil. So let me add my... So what do you do with the oil? All kinds of things. You can make mayo with it. You can make stew with it. You can make more jollof rice with it. The oil, do not throw away the oil. I don't think any cook will do that. Let me I'm trying to get a spoon so I can control how much water I'm adding. So this is why it's called the 2-pot method, because again it's 2 pots. So now I'm adding the rice. This is why I said this 2 pots gives you control, because if you have undercooked rice, if you basically, you have to figure out what ratio works for you. Ratio is difficult to describe without giving you up my trade secret, so I can't tell you ratio. All I can just say is that with the 2-pot method, if you undercook the rice, basically you didn't cook enough, you can just leave it to one side and go and cook more rice. I've eaten jollof rice before that was good, right? Not that I cooked, but I could tell that the person added more rice than the stew that they made. So while the jollof rice tasted nice, my jollof rice, for those who have eaten it before, it's very rich. That's how I cook. My food is very rich because I have figured out what ratio works for me. So with the 1-pot method, if you add more rice than the stew, The jollof rice will cook, oh, the color may even look nice, oh, but the seasoning may be okay, oh, but it's not going to be rich. And that's how again, personal preference. Some people like their jollof rice too. My food, when you eat my food, it's a flavor explosion. It's like my food slaps you in the mouth. Like once you eat it like this, you'll be like, yeah, pa, this is so good. So again, that's why I said with the 2-pot method, I have control. If I have boiled too much rice, I will not throw the rice away. I would generally put it inside the fridge. If I know I'm going to cook the jollof rice again the next day, or put inside the freezer, nothing will happen to the rice. I will continue cooking it. But if you go and add more rice than the stew that you made, oh well, you're going to get. It will be nice. It will be just okay jollof. It will not be really nice jollof. So let me check any other questions. Okay, so I can still add more. If you add too much rice as well, you sorry, not enough rice as well, you will be too the rice will be too saucy, and you will not come out the individual grains that you want it to come out. So I kind of know, because of experience and because it's the method I use practically all the time, I know when it's ready, and it's more of a, it's difficult to describe. it's difficult to describe over the phone. If you were here, you will see what I'm saying. I'll get a spoon. Oh, where's my fork? There's a point where you need to get to, which is again is you cannot describe it with words. It's your taste buds that will describe it for you. That's why I said there's only so much I can reveal over a video cooking class. So there's a point you need to get to that tells you whether you have added too much rice or not enough rice, or it's okay. If you don't get to that point, that's happy points where because basically, right, when you cook jollof rice the way I cook jollof rice, you will not be surprised at the end result. And I mean negatively surprised. Do you get the way I cook it and the way I teach it? You will know what your jollof rice will taste like at the end. There will be no surprises. There will be no not enough water, too much water, this and that. You just close it, put your foil, and then you're done. So let me check so I can tell. No, I'm adding more rice. I'm adding more rice. So what's the time now? We are like 12:43. I told you guys that my jollof rice takes 2 hours plus 3 hours sometimes. You guys thought I was joking. So I will add again. Remember, I was saying that the 2-pot method gives you a lot of control. This is what I mean by control. You can't get this kind of control in the 1-pot method. You can't. It's not possible. Because once that water goes in, you've lost all control. You have to cover the pot and hope that you got your dimensions. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So you can see what I mean by I measure. It's experience. Oh God, hold on. Let me move this pot. It's experience that told me. I'll show you something. So you can see that I'm almost done scooping the rice from the water, right? That's because I know how much rice to stew that I need. Again, proportions. I've been doing this for a very long time, so I can tell my proportions. But again, even though I can tell my proportions just by looking at it, because I've done this for a while, I still taste. There's nobody who is above mistakes. So jollof rice, like I told you guys before, jollof rice will humble you, no matter how good a cook that you are. So if you don't taste it and think, I've already measured it now, I do it often, it's fine. I taste as I go. So even though I'm practically done, really, because I was practically correct, but again, if I did not taste it, I would not. That's my my verifier. No, I don't cook jollof rice with salt. I don't. I picked that tip up from a caterer who is a friend of mine. like I said, she and I, we do favors for each other. We share recipes, we share techniques. So she did not give me that tip of what to do for free. She didn't just give it to me like that, no, for free. So it's not fair to also expect that as well. Let me drain the rest of this water and I can add it to the rice. I'm still here. I'll be answering